Would you like to know what kind of food is served at a raw vegan retreat? Would you like to see what a raw vegan buffet looks like? Do you wonder what kind of meals you would get at a raw vegan retreat? If you would like to get the answers to these questions, then keep watching. This video is perfect for you. Hi, this is Marina from Health Glows, a certified raw vegan diet and healthy lifestyle coach. In this video, you're gonna see what food we serve at my Health Glows Thai retreat. As a matter of fact, in this video, I'm gonna analyze in front of you my Health Glows Thai retreat that you can get as well in an ebook that you can download right now through the link that I'm leaving in the description of this video, as well as in the first comment of this video. So please go ahead, pause the video, download your free copy of this meal plan, this ebook, Health Glows Thai Retreat meal plan, through the link in the description of this video and in the first comment, and then come back to the video so you can follow along as I analyze this meal plan. This video is perfect for you if you are wondering what kind of foods do we serve at raw vegan retreats. What kind of food is served at a raw vegan buffet? What kind of food is eaten on a raw vegan diet? And if you want to know answers to all of these questions, then this video is perfect for you. So please open up the meal plan that you have just received on your phone and let's analyze and discuss this meal plan. Before we go to the very topic of this video, I just want to give you some of my personal and professional background related to the raw vegan diet, my lifestyle raw vegan diet as part of my lifestyle, as well as my business. So just that you can get a picture of where I'm coming from and how this retreat and this meal plan came about. Because now when you see this meal plan and you see pictures from my recent retreat in Thailand, you might think, oh, so this whole retreat and this meal plan just happened out of thin air. No, actually it's been 13 years in the making. What I mean by this is that in 2000, let's start with this. I was raised on a standard diet. In 2004, I went vegetarian just because of my compassion towards animals, and not even just compassion towards animals, but because I don't want to take part in what's going on in slaughterhouses. And when I acknowledged what's going on in the slaughterhouses, I said, I don't want to be part of it. And as a matter of fact, I felt I had been lied before, because while I was growing up, I took part in all that what's going on in slaughterhouses without my consent, without anyone telling me that the meat from the grocery stores is animals who were brutally killed in slaughterhouses. And when I acknowledged that in 2004, I said, no more for me. I'm sorry. At the time, I had no idea what were the health benefits of a plant-based diet. I just knew that was the moral way to go. In 2005, I went vegan. Again, I did not know anything about a vegan diet, let alone health benefits, let alone that it is legit. I just knew in my heart that that's what I wanted to do. I said, I didn't want to be part of brutally attacks on those who are not humans on this planet. Well, actually, maybe they are more humane than some human beings, but that's a whole another topic. Anyway, out of my compassion towards animals, I went vegetarian in 2004 and vegan in 2005, and then in 2012 I came across the book The 80-10-10 Diet. I happen to be the translator of this book. I am a translator by trade as well as a raw vegan diet and healthy lifestyle coach. So I translated this book into my mother tongue of Serbian, and the 80-10-10 Diet book was published in my home country of Serbia, and it is very well received by the people in my home country and neighboring countries as well, which I'm very grateful for. That book in itself and the translation of this book was a huge education for me, and it opened my eyes to the whole new approach to health, diet, and well-being. By having said this, I do want to say that I graduated from the secondary medical school, and it was only when I started learning about natural hygiene, which is a science of health, and the raw vegan diet, that I got a completely 180-degree, completely different view about health, about natural health, about diet, about how the human body works, and it really opened my eyes towards the real natural health, and I'll always be grateful for that. So in 2012 I read the book The 80-10-10 Diet. I started translating this book. It was published in February 2012. I had my last cooked meal, potatoes and lentils, and I said, this was my last cooked meal, no more for me. And I've never looked back. I love the raw vegan diet, fruits and vegetables. I just love this diet. I don't even own a stove or any cooking device in my kitchen, nor I would ever want to own it again. In 2013, actually in January 2013, I went to Costa Rica to intern at a retreat that was organized by the author of the book The 80-10-10 Diet, and that 5-week-long retreat was a huge education for me in itself. And after that, I started going to different festivals and different retreats in different countries, organizing my own retreats and attending other people's retreats. As a matter of fact, as soon as I came back from Costa Rica in 2013, I said, I want to do the same. I'm going to run retreats. I didn't know what I was letting myself into. I just knew, oh, this is the right way to go. I'll do this. 3 months after I came from Costa Rica, I organized my very first retreat. Now when I look back, I mean, it was nice, it was cute, but it is a day and night difference than my retreats now. But I did evolve personally and business-wise over the years. Actually, it is so beautiful and refreshing to look over my shoulder now and see my personal and business evolution from 2012/2013 when I started running my retreats, and now, as I said, my retreats are day and night difference than what my first retreat was. But that was a start. It was cute, it was nice. I had 6 guests. I just rented this accommodation in a little village in a mountain near my hometown. I took my guests there. I took my kitchen equipment in my suitcase. I slept in the room with 2 of the guests. And as I said, it was cute, but then I evolved from that. My second retreat came 2 months after that. I doubled the number of guests. Now, then I had 12 guests at my second retreat, and at my first retreat I had 6 guests. So that was a huge plus, and I felt like I'm growing, right? And then from then on, I have been running my retreats every year, except 2020 and 2021. Can you guess why? Yeah, right. Uh, But what I want to say is that for the first 8 years of running my retreats, I was doing the whole work by myself. By this, I mean that I was wearing all these different hats. I was the one who made the program of the retreat, who organized the whole event, who was doing the marketing, the financial side, who rent the place, who was doing the yoga classes, fitness classes, the lectures, who was somehow simultaneous. I don't even know how I did it, or how I did all of that. I was also working in the kitchen. I was preparing the food, serving the food, doing the dishes. And then after the whole day of work, when my guests were sleeping, I was the one who was cleaning the kitchen floor and taking the trash out. So I was doing the whole work. I didn't even know what it meant. Delegate. To delegate. It was just years and years later that I learned about this magical word, delegate, and the power of having a team. And that's what I did in 2022. I started running my retreats again after 2 years of having break from the retreats, 2020, 2021. We are not going to go into that in this video. Okay, and then 2022, fresh start. My retreats are back in 2022, but now I'm stronger, I am wiser, I am delegating some of the work. I'm not doing everything by myself, and I'm having a team. So that's what I'm doing now as well. I rent not just an accommodation for my guests and myself and the whole retreat, but I also organize the whole team, which by itself is a skill. And now when I look back, I clearly see that for the first 8 years that I was handling the whole work around my retreats on my own, that was such huge education for me, because now when I have a team, I can be so specific and so precise in telling each member of my team what to do, how to do, when to do. I am very specific, very precise. Why? Because I was in the shoes of all of those people, or all of the members of my team. I was doing all the work by myself for 8 years, and now I know what needs to be done, how it needs to be done, when it needs to be done. If I hadn't had that experience of doing the whole work by myself, I wouldn't be able to lead a team. So now I see how valuable that whole experience was. It was hard to do all the work, but at the same time, I gained so much insights and so much knowledge on how to run a team and how to direct different roles to different members of the team. And I'm very grateful for that. This year, 2025, actually in February 2025, I organized my very first retreat on this beautifully magical paradise island, Koh Phangan, in Thailand. This was my second retreat in Thailand. The first retreat that I ran in Thailand happened in Thai city of Chiang Mai. But this year, I held my retreat on the Thai island, Koh Phangan. And my retreat was absolutely amazing. How I did it. So first I rent a resort for the accommodation purposes for myself and my guests. And this resort is just beautiful. We had beautiful rooms. We had beautiful yoga studio where I held yoga and fitness classes every single morning. Beautiful sea view, sunset view, beautiful restaurant, and as part of the resort we also had kitchen staff who was preparing the food for us. Now, this kitchen staff never had experience in preparing food for a raw vegan retreat. So what I did as the organizer. First of all, I made a meal plan for my retreat and I sent it to the manager of this resort. And then I also suggested that I give a raw food demo to the kitchen staff of this resort. And they loved it. They said, yes, come over and show us how you want the food to be prepared. So we set up the date and the timing for my workshop, and then I wrote them a very specific, very detailed email in which I described to them how the setup for my food demo should look like. So I was very specific, very precise. I said, I need a table, I need a tablecloth, I need these tools, this equipment. I was going in so many details. I even said, like, I need a garbage bin just under the table, just under the place where my chopping board is. And now I know why. I know why, because I gave so many workshops and so many food demos over the years that I had that pleasure to make dozens and dozens of mistakes, both on my raw vegan diet, on making the food, on food demos, on food workshops. I made dozens of mistakes, and I corrected all those mistakes over and over again until I learned my lessons. So now I can be very specific and very precise because I know exactly which mistakes to avoid and what tools I need, how the workshop setup, the food demo setup should look like, what exactly do I need. I have this whole picture in my mind just because I did it so many times, and I made dozens and dozens of mistakes, which were all lessons by themselves. And with this, I just want to convey this message to you, this lesson that do not be afraid to make mistakes. Do not be afraid to make mistakes over and over again. As long as you are trying, you are not losing. You are learning. Every mistake, as long as every time you fail, you get yourself up, dust yourself off, and move on to the next one and next one, to the next mistake, and then correct the next mistake and correct the next mistake, and you make one and the same mistake for 100 of time, and the 101st time you won't make a mistake. And the 101st time you will know how to avoid that mistake. And then you will become the leader who can say to his or her members, you need to do this, but pay attention, please avoid this mistake because it can happen. You should do this exactly this way at this time, but please avoid this potential mistake. And that is how you become the leader. That is how you can run your team, but you cannot do it before you go through all the experience, which includes a lot of mistakes, a lot of trials and errors. So anyway, I told them how I wanted the food demo setup to be like. I was very precise, very specific, and I also sent them as multiple photos from my previous food demos that I did over the years. So when I came to this resort to give the food demo, I was so surprised and so delighted with the whole setup. It was so beautiful. The setup was so neat, so tidy. Every single tool was in its place, the equipment, even the garbage bin under the chopping board at the table, overlooking the sea, and in front of the table where I was giving the food demo, there were chairs where the members of this kitchen staff were sitting with notebooks and pencils in their hands, and they were absolutely amazing. This kitchen staff has about 10 members, and they are all men, Thai men, but they were absolutely amazing. They were so carefully listening to each and every of my words. They were writing down the notes. They asked these additional questions, and as I said, the whole setup that I came to was absolutely perfect. And with this, I want to convey this message to you. When you want something, you have to say what you want. Please do not expect other people to read your mind. You have to be very specific and very precise. But in order to be specific and precise, you have to know what you want. If you want the setup for your food demo the certain way, you have to have the picture of that setup in your head. And in order to know what you want, you have to have a lot of experience behind you. And in that experience, you have to have a lot of mistakes that you corrected along the way over and over and over and over again, so that you can come to this just knowing what you want. And then you are very specific, you give all the details, and that's when you get what you want, and even better than what you wanted. So this is, I guess, a lesson that I learned over the years, and it applies to business and to life in general. So anyway, the setup that I got for my food demo was absolutely perfect, and all the members of the kitchen staff that were at my food demo, they were absolutely amazing. They were listening to each and every of my word, writing it down, writing details. It was a dream come true. As a matter of fact, I felt as if I came to give a concert. I literally just came to the resort. I walked into the room. There was this beautiful food demo setup, even better than I expected, with overlooking the sea, the kitchen staff in front of me, and I just delivered my food demo. I told them exactly how I wanted all of my meals to look like, how I wanted the buffets to look like, and later on at my actual retreat, every single meal, every single buffet was absolutely perfect, was absolutely a perfection. And I'm so thankful to the kitchen staff of this resort for doing their work the best way possible. What else I wanted to tell you is that a message that I said to this kitchen staff. So I showed them how I wanted food to be prepared, what we were going to prepare for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and then I said this. Okay, so I have a vision in my head. Now, please close your eyes and let me transfer this vision from my mind into your mind. And then, with their eyes being closed, I told them exactly how I wanted the breakfast buffet to look like, how I wanted the lunch buffet to look like, how I wanted the dinner buffet to look like. Just for example, I said, when my guests and I enter this dining room for the dinner, I want the dining table to be beautifully set up, and I want a wine glass filled with coconut water in front of each chair, and then we toast with coconut water in wine glasses, and then we move on to the buffet, and the buffet has this, that, and that, and the centerpiece of the buffet is this, and then there are two parallel sides of the buffets, and then I tell them why parallel sides, and I tell them why the centerpiece, and I tell them why the toasting with wine glasses, and I explain all of this, and then I have my vision from my mind transferred to their minds, and that's how you get what you want. As I said, if you want something, you can't expect people to read your mind. You have to say precisely what you want. It's the same with the raw vegan diet. So many times I see people making these huge mistakes. They are going to visit someone, and the host asks them, "Oh, so you're on this raw vegan diet. What would you like to have for your meal?" And they say, "I don't know, whatever." And they get whatever. If they are specific, they will get specifically what they want. And actually, most hosts want to hear a specific answer so that they know how to host you. I hope that these little messages for life and for business resonate with you. Please let me know what you think about them in the comments down below. Do they help you, or do you have a different opinion about these messages? Please let me know in the comments down below. Without further ado, let's jump straight into the very topic of this video, which is the analysis of my Health Glows Thai Retreat meal plan. So please, if you haven't already, pause the video, download your copy of my Health Glows Thai Retreat meal plan, and let's discuss this meal plan. So open the meal plan, and on the first page you have, of course, the cover, and in the cover you can see the picture of myself and my guests sitting at this beautiful dining table, and we are toasting with our wine glasses, which are filled with fresh coconut water. And here you have the title, Health Glows Thai Retreat meal plan. Then the second page, you have just some details about this ebook, the title, the author, published by my company based in London, UK, copyright, all rights reserved, and all that jazz. Okay, then we are moving on to the next page, which is the table of content. So now please pay attention that each of these titles is hyperlinked. So if you want to go to a particular chapter, you just need to click on the title and you will be directed to that. For example, if you want to go to preface, just click the preface and you're gonna go directly to that, and you can do the same with any of these chapters. So let's move on. Read the preface by yourself, and then we have another picture of myself and my guests toasting with wine glasses filled with coconut water, fresh coconut water. Then you have a little bit about your host, which is me, the author of this book, and the one who is talking to you right now in this video. Then the picture of who's this girl? Who's this girl? You tell me. Here you can see me holding a plate with watermelon slices at one of our breakfasts. The next chapter, exercise is part of a diet. This is so important. I cannot stress enough how important this is. And I see all the time nutritionists making this huge mistake, or coaches making this huge mistake of not implementing exercise as part of a meal plan. All of my clients and all of my guests know that I put a strong emphasis on exercise, and this is why I always implement exercise in my clients' meal plans. And at my retreats, we always start our day at a yoga studio or fitness studio or a gym where I give a yoga class or a fitness class. I like to give a yoga class one day, and then the next day fitness class, and then the next day yoga class, and so alternatively I alternate between yoga and fitness. We usually do calisthenics, even though if I have a gym we would also be doing some weightlifting, and there is a reason for that, as well as I am teaching at my retreat. So anyway, the takeaway message is exercise is part of a diet, and exercise should always be implemented in a meal plan. And then we move along, and here is a just a photo of me with some of my guests at this beautiful yoga studio, where we would start each and every of our days at my Halkulov's Thai retreat. Then the next chapter says varieties matter, and this is so important. What I'm gonna say, you're gonna read the whole chapter, but what I'm gonna say now is that not every banana is the same, not every mango is the same, not every lettuce is the same, not every fig is the same. There are huge differences between different varieties of the quote-unquote same fruit or a vegetable, or any food in general. There are different varieties, and with this I just want to encourage you to start paying attention to different varieties and start learning about different varieties. Learn which varieties of some fruits and vegetables you like and which one you don't like, so that you know what to ask for. Then we are moving along. Then the next chapter says texture affects taste. This is also so important. The way you cut a fruit or vegetable will affect the experience of eating that fruit and vegetable. Technically, the taste itself will remain the same because the chemical structure of the food remains the same, whichever way you cut it, but the feeling, the perception on your taste buds will be different depending on how a fruit or vegetables is cut. Is it cut or sliced or diced? Do you eat it on a spoon or any other way? So it is different, and this is why it is important to pay attention to how fruits and vegetables are prepared. I'll just give you an obvious example. For example, if you dice a mango versus eating it on a spoon, it will have a different feeling to your taste buds. It's the same with dragon fruit. For example, zucchinis are exceptionally good example because zucchinis are so versatile, so you can cut them in different ways. You can make fettuccine, tagliatelle, macaroni, spaghetti, you can make boats, you can make so many different textures of the same vegetable. For example, zucchini, which are so versatile. I love zucchinis. I love making recipes with them. I make all kinds of pasta recipes with zucchinis and sandwiches and lasagna. So the way you cut it, it will affect the perception of this particular vegetable on your taste buds, and that's how it's gonna change the whole experience of the food you eat. So pay attention to how the food is prepared. And then we go on to breakfast. In this chapter, you will learn what is the primary role of breakfast. Please read it. It is important to know. And then we go on to what particular foods are served at our breakfast. And please pay attention that I named certain varieties of certain fruits and vegetables because I do want specific varieties of specific fruits and vegetables, and there is a reason for that. So this is the setup for our breakfast. This is our dining table, and there is a glass of freshly squeezed pineapple celery juice in front of each chair, and there is a buffet with breakfast foods. Why celery pineapple juice? There is a whole chapter dedicated to that explanation. I love pineapple celery juice, and I highly recommend that you try it as well. Then we have all the juicy fruits for breakfast. We have papaya, which is so gentle on the digestive tract, watermelon, bergamot, tangerines. There is a reason why I'm choosing this specific variety of tangerines. It is specific to Thailand. It is such a unique, wonderful tangerine variety, even though I will say that probably my number one tangerine variety will always be Satsuma. If you haven't had satsuma tangerines or bang mat, you're missing a lot. And then we are moving on to passion fruit. I did include some tips on how to choose ripe fruit, and this specifically implies to a passion fruit, because if you have a passion fruit with a very smooth skin that is peel, please know that it is not ripe. It's probably sour. But if you wait for the passion fruit for its skin, the peel, to wrinkle, that is when it becomes really ripe and sweet. And there are tips for other fruits, because it is so super important to know when your fruit is really ripe. Typically, the way you know that fruit is ripe, it is when it is mildly soft to touch, when you can smell it through its skin, and when the inner flesh is gelatinous, smooth, just melting. That's when it is really ripe, and that's when it is really sweet. So it is always worth it to wait for the fruit to ripe, to become really ripe. Why it's so important to have ripe fruit? Well, there are a couple of reasons. First of all, the ease of digestion, the taste itself, and most of all, or last but not the least, is the seed. When the fruit is ripe, it is an indication that the seed in the fruit is ready to become a new plant, and ideally you want that seed to be back in the ground and become a new plant, but that's ideal situation. So anyway, then we have lime juice in a spray bottle, and there is a reason for that. You can read it in this book. Then we have lunch, and in this chapter you will learn what is the role of lunch. So please make sure that you read this chapter. Then you can see a picture of me holding a tray of some fruit from our lunch buffet. Then here you have a list of the foods that go into our lunch, serving tools, the picture of our lunch buffet, dragon fruit, 3 varieties, how to cut the dragon fruit, and why it feels the best to your taste buds when it is eaten on a spoon versus slices. It is so much better. The texture, it's just the feeling, the perception on your taste buds is so much better. We use 2 different mango varieties, namdokmai and kaev. There are many more other mango varieties, but why we are choosing namdokmai and kaev is because these 2 varieties are the most popular in Thailand and most often found in Thailand. Personally, probably my favorite mango varieties would be honey mangoes from Pakistan. Those mangoes are out of this world. Even though I love kaev and namdokmai, I don't complain about them. So let's move on. Here are some pictures of our beautiful mangoes. Namva bananas. Okay, so if you haven't had Namva bananas, please do so. These bananas are so creamy, so melting, so good, that once when you have them, then you will realize that the Cavendish bananas are a far cry from what a banana should be. So because these bananas are not your ordinary typical Cavendish bananas that you probably have in your store. No, this is a whole new world. And they have these little seeds, they're creamy, they are white inside, but their peels are, well, first they're yellow, obviously, green, then yellow, but when they are ripe, when their peels become almost black, and that's when they are the best. Well, okay, not entirely black, you don't want them to be fermented, but when they have all these black spots on them, that's when they are really soft and creamy inside. Namva bananas are similar to manzano, apple bananas, but if you ask me, they are the next level, and they are very typical to Thailand. Then we have jackfruit. It is so super important to know when jackfruit is really ripe. It is ripe when its flesh is juicy and soft, and that's when it is really easy to digest and very sweet. If jackfruit is not ripe, if it is hard and starchy, you better don't eat it because it is very hard to digest. But when it's really ripe, then it is super sweet, super easy to digest, soft, melting, juicy, perfection. Then we have gherkin. I hope that I'm pronouncing this word well. If I'm not, please correct me in the comments. Cucumbers, these are those little cucumbers. I love those cucumbers. Let me know if you like them as well. Romaine lettuce, whole leaves. And then we have dinner. In this chapter, you will learn what is the role of dinner. Here is the picture of me with a plate with dinner food, and behind me there is our dinner buffet. Then in the next chapter, you can see the list of all the foods and serving tools that we use for our dinner. Buffet table, coconut water. Okay, this is how we start our dinner. So do you remember that I had this vision that I transferred to the kitchen staff? So what I told them is that when my guests and I enter the dining room for our dinner, I want us to see this beautifully set up dining table, and I want a wine glass filled with coconut water in front of each chair, and then we toast first as the starter to the dinner. And that's how it was. It was absolutely amazing. Pineapple, or also very important to choose a ripe pineapple. Mangoes, durian, creamy yellow sauce. This sauce is so simple yet pure perfection. So one of the takeaway messages from this video should probably be, try this one out. Please let me know how you like it. I hope you're gonna love it because this sauce is just amazing, and it is so super simple. It is a two ingredient sauce, but these two ingredients are all you need for this wonderful sauce. I promise you this. Then we have creamy green sauce. This one is also so yummy, so you can try this one as well. Then cucumber noodles, zucchini noodles, romaine lettuce chopped. And do you remember that we also had romaine lettuce for lunch, but now it's different texture. For lunch we served whole leaves, and for dinner we served chopped romaine lettuce, and there is a reason for these different textures at different meals. Tomatoes, sunflower microgreens. Sunflower microgreens are abundantly readily available in Thailand. You can find them at farmers markets and at different grocery shops. I love sunflower microgreens. If you haven't had them, please do so because they're so yummy and so nutritious. And luckily in Thailand, I like to call Thailand my Asian home. So in my Asian home, these sunflower greens are abundantly available. So I'm so happy about that because these wonderful Thai people, they make all these sunflower microgreens and then they sell them at farmers markets. Gherkin, cucumbers. I'm sorry if I'm murdering the name of this cucumber variety. Baby corns. And this is the end of the dinner. And now you have plate examples. So in these pictures below, you can see some plate examples that our guests filled up, how our guests filled up their plates for the dinner. And please know that most of these plates were filled a couple of times at the same meal. So this one plate usually won't be calorically sufficient for a typical person. So there should be a couple of plates like this. But what my guests and I concluded is that these standard plates are just too small. So yeah, It's not that it's not that we are taking a lot of food into the plates, it's just that the plates themselves are too small. So I think that the sizes of the plates should be bigger. So anyway, these are the plates, and this is myself and my wonderful guests toasting with wine glasses filled with coconut water at one of our dinners. And on the last page, it reads that you, my friend, are welcome to my next Health Glows retreat. I am running 2 to 3 retreats a year. One of them is in Thailand in February, but the second one is in September, somewhere in Eastern Europe, probably either Serbia, my home country, or Croatia, the neighboring country. But anyway, wherever my retreats are, you are welcome, and you can check out my next retreat through the link below this video, in the description of this video and in the first comment. And I would love to host you and to welcome you at one of my retreats. I hope that you have downloaded this ebook and that you got a lot of useful knowledge from this video and from this ebook. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up, share it, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and please make sure that you click the bell icon beside the subscription button so that you can enjoy all the upcoming videos that I am making for you on my Health Glows YouTube channel. And in those upcoming videos, you're gonna receive free education on a raw vegan diet, exercise, and healthy living. If these are the topics that you are interested in, then welcome to my little world, my Health Glows YouTube channel, your place of true natural health. That's all for this video. If you have any additional question for me regarding my retreats or a raw vegan diet or a raw vegan diet meal plan, please let me know in the comments and I'll be more than happy to reply to you. Until the next video, I'm wishing you all the best and keep glowing. Bye bye. Download your free copy of the Health Glows Thai Retreat Meal Plan ebook via the link below this video.